Hey everybody, Sister Fantastic here, and today's video is going to be a tutorial with the Weekend Festival palette from BH Cosmetics. And I'm doing this in a collaboration with my friend Paula V. And you can find her channel at PalsLivesLife. And I'll link that down for you below. And here's what we're working with today. Oh my gosh. 20 beautiful shades. Oh my word. This is such a beautiful palette. There's pressed pigments, there's satins, there's shimmers, there's mattes. There's just so many pretty colors. And so when I was approaching what I was going to do for today, I decided to go with a warm look. So anyhow, I'm going to get right into this. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this shade right here called Candy. And we're going to just put that right in to the transition. So I'm just going to grab this little Morphe brush here. It's a fluffy blending brush. I'm just going to put this right into the crease. And I want to take it pretty high up. I've got these hooded eyes. So anyway, she got the same palette, and we're both excited about it. So what we decided to do is to each one of us create a look and share with you what we're doing out of this palette. And then hopefully, this is what I'd really like to see happen, is that in a couple of weeks or so we could follow up with like a part 2 to this collab, and I could take her tutorial and follow it and create her look on me, and she can do the same with my tutorial. So I thought that would be really fun. So hopefully that'll work out. And so it's better to follow a tutorial, I think, than to try to just take a picture and try to follow a picture. Alright, so now we've got that laid down. So now I wanted to go into this beautiful orange shade. It's called Hippie, and I'm just going to take that same brush, and this is a pressed pigment, so I'm just going to this is a goat hair brush, so I'm just going to tap into this just a couple of times, and because this pigment here is boom, and I don't want to have a tough time blending this out. So when you have pressed pigments like this, it only takes a little bit, especially on a natural bristle brush. So you can see that just really adds a lot to it. So just tap, tap, just real light, right, right straight down. And so the product is right there on the tip of the brush. And I'm just blending this in circular motions and windshield wiper motions. And just distributing the product pretty evenly. I don't want to build up on that outer corner yet. So we just want to get this pretty much all over the crease area and let that blend in with that first color. Okay, now we want to go a little bit deeper into the crease, and I'm going to take this bright pink, and it's called Dippy. And so I'm going to take a different brush. I'm going to take this tapered blending brush here from Royal and Langnickel, and it's kind of flat, but it has a tapered end. And I'm going to use the same technique, just tap, tap, because this is another pressed pigment, and you can see the color that just, and I'm just going to go a little bit lower in the crease, and I'm just going to start here on the outer corner, and I'm going to drag the product in. And I'm just going to create a little depth here, and then I'm going to smoke it up. So I just want to use these warmer colors today, the oranges, the pinks, the golds, a couple of browns, and I'm just going to create a look that's kind of mimics a sunset, really. That's what I had in my mind when I approached this palette. It's just so beautiful. And next time I do something with this palette, maybe I can use those greens and blues and purples and stuff. But this time I just couldn't resist. I just had to go and do this. This is my jam right here. I love warm colors. I love neutrals. But this palette is a far cry from being a neutral. I mean, this will push you out of the box. No doubt. Okay, so you see just how just a little bit of product, I mean, I just basically, that little bit just basically covered up everything we've already done so far. But anyway, it's blending in with those colors. And that's the thing I love about this palette, is it blends so well. And the colors really don't become muddy. It changes the tone. So we've got like oranges now mixed in with this pink. And it creates this beautiful, like an island coral type color, which is absolutely gorgeous, if you ask me. So this is really pretty, I think. All right, now we're going to get into some of these golds. And I want to take a different brush. I want to take let me get a packing brush here. I want to use, if I can find it. Here we go. I want to use this packing brush right here by Morphe. It's kind of flat, kind of dense. And I want to go into this gold color here called Magical, right there. So I'm just going to pack that on the brush. Get plenty on there, so okay, and then we're going to go right, not up underneath the brow all the way, but just this space right here, like at the very top of what we just laid down, but not all the way up. And we're just going to lay this down. And then I want to take this lighter gold shade right here in the corner. It's almost like a champagne, like a bone white kind of a color, but it's definitely a frost, just like Magical is. And then I'm going to take that and I'm going to go right up underneath the brow. And that's going to be my lightest, the lightest point right there. Alright, so then we'll come back later and blend or whatever needs to be done. Okay, now that is called Trixie, that lightest one. Alright, so now I want to work on the lid a little bit. So I'm going to try to find another brush here that I can use. Let's go. I'm going to use this little Luxy travel brush. It's a little packing brush. It's the Luxy 213. And I'm going to go in with this color called Euphoria. Is that it? Yeah. This yellow. Euphoria. I did this look the other day. Anyway, I'm just going to pack that on. And this is an amazing color. Here, let me just swatch it for you so you can see. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So I'm going to put that on the lid. And I'm using the mirror on the inside of the palette. Going all the way to the corner and all the way out to the outer corner. Okay, now see, this really looks like it could be the sun portion of like a sunset color. I mean, the pinks and the oranges up in the sky, and then, you know, the whiter colors, the light yellows up there represent the clouds. But I thought it would be really pretty if I used another color on the lid with this gold. And so I wanted to try some of this Solstice right here, which is like a rose gold color. Let me swatch it so you can see it. And it looks more of a, here, let me put some more. It looks like it's like a peachy corally color, but watch this, when you put it on top of the yellow, see what it does? It tones down that yellow and makes it look more of a rose gold color, and which is what I'm shooting for here. So I'm just going to use that same brush, and I'm going to dip right into Solstice, and I'm just going to go right over what I just did. And this is one thing I really love about this palette, is the colors blend together so beautifully. You can create so many blended combinations. Now, this is a dual fiber brush, so if you feel like you're not getting the results that you want on mixing, you know, go to a natural fiber brush and stay away from the synthetics, and you can, you know, get more product on a natural brush than what you can a synthetic brush. But I really didn't want to cover up that gold, you know, where it doesn't show. I want it to still come through. Okay. Now, you're like, Miss Laurie, this is kind of wonky looking right now, because you've got shimmers above the crease and below the crease, but in the crease you've got mattes. And yes, I know that. But we're going somewhere. So stick with me here, okay? Alright, so we've got Euphoria and then Solstice on the lid. Alright, and then I want to try Escape in the outer V right here. Escape. So this is like a warm brown, and I'm going to use this tapered brush here by Morphe. This is a natural brush, and I'm just tapping into that, and I'm going to put this in the outer V and just like the outer third of what I already laid down. And we're just going to put this right there on the outer portion of the lid as well. And up underneath the lash line. And we're just going to blend that in, just to create some dimension and smoke it up into those shimmery shades. this palette right here, if you pick it up at BH Cosmetics, I mean, you've got summer looks for a long time, because these shadows are so pigmented that they're going to last a long time. I don't think I've ever used an entire, I don't think I've really used an entire eyeshadow palette in my whole entire life. The shadows, if I hit pan, then they break, you know, and they scatter, you know how all that goes. And but there's usually just one shade or two shades that I hit pan on in a palette, and then, you know, after the mess occurs, then I don't feel like fooling with it anymore, and I'm ready to move on to another palette. So, okay, so we've got Escape down. And I could use just a tiny bit more on this eye right here. So let's just go again. Okay, that's better. Yeah, that's better. Alright, now with that same brush, I'm going to go into this darker brown. It's called Hipster. And I'm just going to tap one time into it. And I'm just going to concentrate that right here. Just right there. In that very, just like a central location of the outer V. Just right there. And we're going to take this underneath as well, just right there on the outer, like the outer third. Just to kind of give that just a little bit more depth. This palette right here does not have a matte black or a matte white. So you'll want to use a setting powder on your lids once you get your your eyeshadow primer down, and just use your setting powder. Or if you decide to use concealer, you know, as your eyeshadow primer, and just use the setting powder to set all that down. And then when you pick up the palette, you'll be ready to go straight in with one of the mattes as a transition color. And some people have even complained about you know, having to pick up another palette for a transition color. But this color that I started with down here, Candy, it's a satin finish, and here, let me swatch it for you so you can see. It's a beautiful light orange, and when you lay it down, there's hardly any sheen at all. See, and it works almost like a matte on the lids. So it is very suitable for a transition color. And you could even go in with, let me show you this. It's called Electric. This really pretty, like pinky peach color. Almost like a coral. Let me just swatch that. Now this is a pressed pigment, and so it's got more pigment. So you'd probably want to pick up like a duo fiber brush, like what I was just talking about. And you could, this is definitely a matte, and so you could definitely use that as a transition color as well, as long as you apply it lightly and blend it out. So this palette, I don't know who wrote the rule, or you know, who made up the rule of a transition color has to be, you know, a light camel brown, but it does not. I mean, it does not. I mean, if you wanted to do a blue eye look and have like 4 or 5 different shades of blue, you know, you could choose a light blue or a light grayish blue, you know, matte for the transition, and it would work just fine. If you wanted to do a purple eye look, you know, and you want to use like a light lavender, you know, for the transition. All a transition shade does is it helps to have somewhere for your other shadows to go. It just helps the other shadows to kind of move and blend and to, you know, get laid down on your eyelids. Alright, so this is pretty much it right here. So, and if you felt like you needed a little more, like in your, underneath your lash line, you know, by all means. And then just swing it around, you know, and just blend it in. And just create that. When you have small eyes like I do, and especially small hooded eyes, if you create shadow around the outside of your eye like I do, it'll make your eyes look wide open and bigger, you know, especially by the time you get, you know, eyeliner, lashes, or whatever else on. Okay, so that is it. That is the eyeshadow look. That is the tutorial. And so all I need to do now is add lipstick and eyelashes, mascara, you know, eyeliner, and all those things, and then some setting spray, and then I am done with this look. So I'm not going to go on any farther in the tutorial. You all, I can take the picture, you know, and when I post the picture on Facebook and on Instagram, you can see the finished look there. But this is the eyeshadow look. This is the tutorial. So if you want to follow along and create a look using this palette, you can pick this up at bhcosmetics.com. There's 20 colors in this eyeshadow palette. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful palette. I mean, this is one you don't want to miss out on, seriously. And so, anyway, Paula V will be creating a look, and she'll post her tutorial as well. And so, anyway, I'll link her channel down below. Y'all make sure and visit her. She's brilliant. She's creative. She's funny. She's smart. I just love her to pieces. And so she's going to come up with something really, really snazzy. And then later on in a couple of weeks, hopefully we can do each other's tutorials and then share each other's links. So anyway, this blended out pretty good today. So that's all I'm going to do for today. And I appreciate you guys watching. If you like my channel, then please subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you can receive all my future notifications and all my content. And if you like the video, then hit like. And if you decide to do this look, you know, just tag me on Instagram, tag me on Facebook, tag me wherever, or just shoot me a message, you know, on any of my YouTube videos, and just let me know, and I will make sure and watch your video. Okay, God bless you today is my prayer, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.